Headline of a Natural News put up Friday, April 3rd, 2026, the year of apostate sellouts and agents. Iran expands cyber campaign against U.S. and Israel with multi-tiered digital attacks. Shalom, giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of the great millstone. Salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel. The nation of Israel and the earth today consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You are the Lord's chosen people, the apple of his eye and his peculiar treasure, and that includes the Israelite foreigner brothers and sisters of speckled birds. And for quite some time now, we've been telling you to be prepared here in America, aka Babylon the Great, for one of those F flag attacks. Okay, one of those FALSE flags, right? To be carried out by the Mossad and the CIA and MI6 and blamed on the Persians, the Carmanians over there in Iran, right? Not to say that there aren't Iranian hackers making threats. There are, but ever how it goes. This is all Bible prophecy, and this is all part of the plan of the wicked elites of Esau, Edom, to usher in their NWO. Okay. The end game for Lord Rothschild and Lord Rockefeller, etc., them modern day Chaldeans and wizards and warlocks, is to put a chip in everyone, man. All right. Only the elect of Israel, beginning with his servants, the prophets, are going to resist that. All right. Want to resist that hour of temptation and endure. But you, every day, Jake's over here in America, and of course, you simple, everyday Joe Sixpack, Edomite, so-called white people, and you heathen who are too dumb to return back to your own countries, you're going to take that chip, and you're going to be destroyed in a lake of fire when an assembly of great nations comes against this place and shoots those missiles. This ain't going to be long. Cyber attacks is part of World War III as well. All right. It's going to be fought, and obviously it's being fought physically, but it will be fought in cyberspace as well. Iran is escalating its cyber operations against the United States and Israel. It should say Amalek, because that's who's occupying that land right now. The chief tribe of Esau, Edom, the least of the flock, because they're the smallest in number. But it says deploying a layered network of digital actors to conduct espionage, disrupt infrastructure, and influence public perception, according to a report by the Financial Times. Cybersecurity analysts described the effort as a coordinated campaign involving three distinct tiers: elite units linked to Iran's military and intelligence, state-aligned proxies, and hacktivist groups. And again, you best believe a lot of these proxies and so-called hacktivist groups are backed and funded by who? By Esau. Okay. It says the campaign employs layered attacks targeting government, critical infrastructure, and private sector entities officials from the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, and the Israeli National Cyber Directorate confirmed a significant escalation in Iranian cyber operations following the commencement of military hostilities in late February 2026. This activity coincides with ongoing regional tensions and follows recent diplomatic announcements from Tehran and Washington. Yeah, best believe they're going to attack the grid, other critical infrastructure here in America. This is all part of the day of the Lord, by the way. And, they'll blame it on Iran, Russia, China. And, that doesn't mean that those countries can't carry these things out. We believe a lot of this is being engineered, though. We believe that the left hand is hard at work through these Edomites, who are carrying out these things and implementing these. We like the scripture says, man, we ain't ignorant of Satan's devices. We know what he's up to. Okay, we understand. It's like we've understood rather through the Spirit, beginning with the elder apostles of Great Millstone now, their playbook for quite some time. Okay. This is nothing new. Let's see. It says analysts cite use of advanced persistent threat APT groups linked to Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Methods include spear phishing, supply chain compromises, right? Supply chain's all busted up, kind of like it was 6 years ago when they beta tested that C19. Remember that? Supply chain being all busted up back then, right? And deployment of new malware strains. An Iran-linked hacker group known as Handala claimed responsibility for a cyber attack on U.S. medical tech company Stryker, causing a global network disruption. The hacking group Handala shared a statement saying the attack was in retaliation for the brutal attack on the Minab school and in response to ongoing cyber assaults against the infrastructure of the axis of resistance. Yeah, Iran, they follow the rules of the Geneva Convention when it comes to warfare. They've been taking out, Esau's infrastructure, taking out their bases in the so-called Middle East, taking out power plants, etc., etc. But Esau, he'll bomb a school full of women and children because he's just a goddamn devil, man. That's what Esau does. He fucking coward. And he labels Iran the biggest supporter of state-sponsored terrorism on Earth. Nah, Esau is the biggest terrorist on planet Earth, man. And the biggest supporter of so-called state-sponsored terrorism. That's Esau. Okay? Remember, he was a murderer from the beginning, right? Going all the way back to his forefather Cain. The first murderer on planet Earth. Cain slew righteous Abel, right? Yeah, there's gonna be some kind of an attack on energy infrastructure over here. the grid, etc., etc. The lights will go out in Babylon. The scriptures talks about the day of the Lord, for example, being darkness and not light. Let's get that. This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 18. Middle scripture, woe unto you. All right. In other words, destruction is coming upon you that desire the day of the Lord. Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You got all these Christians out here, longing for the return of Jesus Christ. Okay. They have no idea what they're asking for, what they're desiring. Okay, because first of all, Jesus Christ ain't coming back. All right, the earth pig ain't coming back. Yahushua is. All right, he's coming back to wipe out the nation of Edom completely over here in America. Okay, and the Edomites who survive all this destruction all throughout the four corners of the earth, they're going right into slavery upon the Lord's return. All right, so it says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. To what end is it for you? Right. Your end is slavery, destruction, hell, the lake of fire. The day of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, is darkness and not light. Yep. Verse 19 reads, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear bit him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him, so you might escape one of these judgments that's coming during the time of Jacob's trouble, only to be met with another form of judgment by the Most High. For example, you might escape the famine, only to be taken out via the sword. Because when these attacks go down, and again, they are coming. These F flags are coming. When these attacks go down, all hell's going to break loose here in America. Okay, it's all part of the day of the Lord. Verse 20 reads, shall not the day of the Lord Yahweh shall be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? Yeah. So the day of the Lord is darkness and it's not light, man. Okay. Let's see. Back to the article, it says pro-Iran activist groups are also claiming responsibility for disruptive cyber attacks against major U.S. targets, including Microsoft 365 services and websites affiliated with President TJT Emperor Nero. This campaign, active since early February, signals a dangerous new phase where cyber and kinetic operations are converging. Yeah, again, World War III is also going to be fought in cyberspace. And at the end of the day, it's like it one more time. It's all about bringing in their NWO. Bringing all these things down. Okay. And bringing order out of chaos after they do so. All right. And ultimately, above all that, this is the Lord making moves in this earth. Because judgment has come to this place, man. Yeah, just real quick, wanted to bring that out through the Spirit. And Lord willing, he was edified. With that, we'll give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors once again to the apostles, bishops, and elders of the great millstone. Citations to the Lord's elect. Shalom.